Yes, indeed. Maybe if the thing clicked this time. Welcome into another episode of Rip N Riff here on the Rip N Riff YouTube channel. That over there is at Mr. Jared Moore. I am at Pucking Thoughts, Adam Bernard, and we have officially entered the NFL offseason. I know there's no offseason in football, but no, we're in the offseason.
Oh, there's an offseason.
There's an offseason, and it starts today. And unfortunately, we don't even have NHL hockey. Like, we got Olympic hockey coming up. Like, still, it's not the same. We don't even have NHL hockey.
No, we don't. I mean, you do have the other Olympic stuff you can get into, which is great. Like, I'm watching the Olympics Saturday night while I'm playing poker, and I'm sitting there watching the Italian mixed curling team, and fell in love with the Italian curler, the young lady Stefania Constantini or whatever her name is. So
it sounds like an Italian.
It's a very Italian name, and very attractive young lady. So I definitely would like to see more of her.
Well, there you go. Jared will be a big Italy curling fan, amongst other things. For me, it's obviously the hockey, but the skiing. I like the skiing, like the fast stuff or the mogul.
Yeah, I know. And by the way, since you mentioned the skiing, like I was actually into the Lindsey Vonn story, and I felt terrible when I saw like what happened to her yesterday. Like for those who were unaware, she tore her ACL in like the build up to the Olympics. Like she was going to ski on a torn ACL, and yesterday during her race she clipped like one of the flags and whatnot, like landed awkwardly, fractured her leg, had to be airlifted off. The entire situation was just terrible. I felt terrible for her.
Yeah, kudos to her for trying to give it a go, but yeah, I know there are certain sports where an ACL is more important than others, but yeah, that's a rough way to go down. But kudos to her for trying, and one of the better skiers of the last 30 years or whatever. There we go. So plenty of Olympics. We're going to get into the Super Bowl today. It was not the worst Super Bowl I've ever watched, but it's in the ballpark. And we'll get into that. Got some Loosies to show today. We're going to do plenty of football and hockey. We'll talk a little Olympic hockey later. But before we get to let's just get right to the pack ripping lineup, which we had to use some new music because last week we got the copyright. There we go. All right. So you see what we're ripping today. Bring the lineup back up on the screen. Jared's got some 2024 Donruss there. Wow, that Aaron Rodgers on the Jets saga feels like it was so long ago, but it was really only a year and a half ago. I've got some 95 Pinnacle quarterback collection, and of course, some the 2025-26 O-Pee-Chee hockey was. I went to the hobby shop on my way back from the Super Bowl. Felt like a job well done. Deserved the trip to the shop for a little bit. And they just had those hobby packs hanging out at the counter for $5 each. I'm like, all right, fine. Twist my arm. What am I going to do?
Yeah, it doesn't take much for me to go all in on it. So certainly excited to rip these packs today. These are the last of these Aaron Rodgers packs I have, by the way. So hopefully, I'll probably wind up buying more at some point just because they're not very expensive. But I'm very much looking forward to ripping these. Probably the last football packs we rip for a while.
See, here's the thing. We'll never truly we'll take a break from football, and we're going to be off next week since I'll be away with the family, a little snow trip up to Mount Shasta. But not Shasta. But next week after that, baseball will be, getting ready in full swing, plenty of hockey. We'll even dip into some basketball too in the coming weeks here with March Madness and the NBA playoffs coming up. But I guess first,
right. And unlike Krusty, we're not going to leave you with our bestest buddy in the whole wide world, Mr. Black, while we're away.
Black. Yeah, that was good. Can't do one episode without a Simpsons reference here, and I'm sure there's more coming.
Oh, there's definitely more coming.
Definitely more coming. But here, you got to see what we're looking for here. You're looking for a Caleb Williams rated rookie, or potentially Marvin Harrison downtown, or Jordan Love, bomb squad, or any of those. But without further ado, let's
get to this. We got a lot of stuff we got to get in today, and besides Simpsons references, so. I got 2 packs here. We'll get right into it. We got Devontae Smith with the Eagles. We'll go through
the Eagles missed the playoffs next year with all the turmoil they're dealing.
I still say probably not, just because they're still really talented. But if there's a lane for them missing the playoffs, I could see the following. Like, all right, they trade A.J. Brown, which might happen this offseason. Maybe Lane Johnson retires. If he does, that's a big loss for their offensive line. And it's very well possible like Jalen Hurts just plays his way out of Philadelphia.
I just realized though one of my things is down, so I have to fix that later. But anyway, it's like, why is that?
No, it's all good. It's all good, man. Yeah. So we got that. We got George Pickens, who the Cowboys are going to get the franchise tag to for some reason. I know he had a very good year in Dallas, and I get that's why the franchise tag exists for guys like him who've been knuckleheads. So you don't necessarily want to commit to him long term, but you have the franchise tag as an option. So there you go. And we get to a quarterback who kind of caught a lot of strays last night inadvertently with former Seahawks quarterback Geno Smith, who has since been replaced by, I can't believe I'm going to say this, Super Bowl winning quarterback Sam Darnold.
Now, I know there was a lot of talk about Jets fans and Darnold and blah, blah, blah. It's like, listen, Sam Darnold didn't fail the Jets. The Jets failed Sam Darnold. So, like, whatever. Kudos to him for winning. Vikings fans, those are the ones that have to be like, went to the playoffs last year, 14 wins, decided to go with the rookie quarterback, and then he goes off and wins a Super Bowl in Seattle. But the Vikings were probably one of the worst 9-8 teams of all time. So yeah, that's rough.
You know, we've talked a lot on this show throughout the season about frauds, for lack of a better term, and like, we've talked about how like every team can't be fraudulent because like at some point somebody's got to be good. In terms of frauds, I feel like the Super Bowl kind of played out in, at least for me and like the narratives that I have in my sick head, couldn't have played out any better. The Patriots were atrocious in the game. Frankly, I thought the Patriots showed they didn't belong in the game. Like they were atrocious. Drake May was awful in the game. I don't care if his shoulder was injured. He just missed way too many throws last night.
Some of his throws, it's like, dude, you got to make that throw. This is the Super Bowl.
Right. Like Drake May looked like he saw ghosts last night with how poorly he played. And he wasn't the only guy on the Patriots who played poorly. Like Will Campbell was a turnstile. He didn't even talk to the media after the game, which, that's always a good look when you don't talk to the media after one of the worst games of your life. Yeah, that, but like the Seahawks, like they won, but like they didn't win because of Sam Darnold. Like Sam Darnold just happened to be there. Like they won because their defense was absolutely dominant last night. And frankly, the best player on the field was the guy who won Super Bowl MVP in Kenneth Walker.
Here's the other thing too. The Patriots offense was terrible. The Patriots defense, I think, did all they could yesterday.
They did what they could to stay in the game.
They like at that point, like if the offense is not giving you any sustained drives to give you a breather and get some points and stuff like that, I thought the Patriots defense played as well as they could. I mean, Kenneth Walker, having the day he had, what are you going to do if the guy's running the ball like that in an old school bell cow roll? And even Sam Darnold said it in his post-game press conference. He's like, with the way the defense was playing and with the way Kenneth was running, I just had to go out there and just be smart, throw it away or take the sack when it made sense. Like,
but that's the thing. He wasn't even that. Like once they were up like 9-0, 12-0, like Darnold's trying to fit these throws into these windows. And it's just like, why are you taking this chance in the Super Bowl in this spot? Like, I know you're trying to go out there and win the game, but like, I mean, let's be honest. Sam Darnold did not play well in the game either. Like he missed a lot of throws as well. It's just that the quarterback on the other team was much worse than he was. And, and the Seahawks as a team were good enough to, elevate their quarterback to a win. So I don't know. That's sort of how I felt about that. You have anything else on this before we move on?
I mean, I did miserable on my picks. You actually did fantastic because I leaned over and Patriots with the points, which neither of them hit. Your props, Travion Henderson, 2 of your 3 props hit. Oh, no, 3 because Rashid Shaheed under 32.5 rushing receiving yards, I think also. I have to double check that.
Yeah, that one got under because he had like -5 rushing yards.
And the Travion Henderson over 26.5 combined, and then Kenneth.
That one barely got there because that was a lot of garbage time at the end that got him there.
Yeah, so you did very well on your props, and you also got both. You got both the side and the total right. So good for you.
How about that? Oh man, if only I actually bet him.
Yeah, only.
All right. Let's see. We have Giants legend here, Younghoe Koo.
Yes, legend.
Yes,
Giants.
such a legend. They'll be finding a new kicker this offseason. Let's see. We have Dallas Turner from the Vikings.
I wonder what they do with that quarter. Like, what do you do if you're the Vikings? Do you go out and get somebody? Do you like? I have no idea what their situation is right now, but like, how they handle that?
They can't run it back with JJ McCarthy,
can't.
right? They have to go get a veteran, but like I don't know where you turn. And all right, let me give you the guy.
Kirk
It's gonna
Cousins.
be because yeah, Kirk Cousins. That's probably the guy, right? We just need a guy for a year to like be a capable body, a capable hand, and sort of buy us time before we draft the next quarterback because obviously it's not working out with JJ.
Well, the Jets also, Kirk Cousins' name's been bandied there for maybe like a 1-year stopgap. Just don't, please. No Kyler Murray, no Tua Tagovailoa. I'd rather as bad as Kirk Cousins is, like, I want my quarterback to be able to see over the line. So, like, that rules Kyler Murray out.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Kind of
that would
like,
be nice.
the offensive linemen are getting bigger. So, like, that's important.
It would also be nice if your quarterback wasn't like a hit away from being, a vegetable. So,
yeah, that too. So, let's maybe bring it. Like, I don't have high expectations this year, but somebody maybe capable, maybe.
yep. Let's see. We have a rated rookie Bucky Irving card. It's not too bad. He's obviously the running back one there in Tampa. Foye Olukun, the stud linebacker from the Jaguars. And Devontae Adams here pictured with the Las Vegas Raiders, but obviously now with the LA Rams.
Had the Rams gotten there last night, I think it would have been maybe New England would have scored a little bit more, but I think it still would have been a decisive Rams victory over the Patriots.
Yeah, I feel like we said a couple weeks ago it felt like Rams Seahawks was the real Super Bowl. So nothing that happened last night changed my opinion in that regard. Put it that way.
Agreed.
All right, we got one more pack, one final football pack this season. We'll get the kid reporter card out of the way.
I might have my daughter do that 1 year if I pull it.
You should. I mean, first of all, it's not that difficult to pull the kid reporter card. Just go buy some Panini packs of whatever, and
go get it.
Odds are it'll be in one of them. Let's see. Jalen Hurts, our first card here with the Philadelphia Eagles. We already talked about their situation, so we can move on. We could also briefly move on from the Jets quarterback situation with Justin Fields. So there you go. We already kind of covered the gamut there. Let's see. Trey McBride here in all-pro season with the Arizona Cardinals. Jake Matthews, the stud longtime offensive lineman of the Falcons. We have ourselves an action all-pros card here with George Pickens. Nice little glossy finish there, so we like that.
A lot of Pickens today. A lot of Cowboys.
Very much a lot of Pickens today. So it is what it is. And you'll have to excuse me for a second because I put the speed skating on the television. I was distracted by Olympic ass there.
I love speed skating. Great sport. I remember watching
fun sport to watch.
Dan Jansen and Bonnie Blair when we were kids for Team USA. There we go.
Yeah, and former Devils play-by-play announcer Bill Spalding is doing the play-by-play for the speed skating.
Oh, good for him.
Yeah, so he landed on his feet there. Rookie card here of Graham Barton from the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So
I think I say Graham Bensinger for a second. Shout out Graham.
Let's see. Deontay Johnson with the Carolina Panthers. And last but not least, Hall of Famer Andre Johnson. A little throwback there. And obviously the Hall of Fame class was announced as well this past weekend. Pretty good class. Unfortunately, the topic of conversation is who didn't get into the Hall of Fame. But in terms of who actually they did put in, like Drew Brees, Adam Vinatieri, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly,
Roger Craig.
I feel like they did a pretty good job there.
That's the thing. Like, yes, like Belichick should have gotten like all that. Like, there's no, but like, it's not like any of the people who did get in be like, oh, they shouldn't be there. It's like they all deserve their due. So yeah, and I'm not gonna say the NFL got it right, but they did. Like, there's nobody there that's like, why are they in the Hall of Fame? You know, it's not like basketball. Everybody's in.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So we got a little 2024 Panini Donruss. Now I'm going to take it back to 1995 here. Going to do a little quarterback collection there. We're looking for maybe that Barry Sanders spotlight card or like arms race Elway or an aerial assault Marino. So I can't stand the Dolphins, but there's nothing wrong with pulling a Dan Marino card here. So here we go. This pack opens very easily. A little concerned. All right. The bricking is very minimal here. Okay, so let's bring up the West Coast Rip Cam and the very attractive young mullet, Yarmir Yaga right there. Just as my placeholder there. That is a Canadian card. As you can see, it says Allier Gouche up there on the right. So we have a Dave Brown card, X's and O's. I'm sure you remember Dave Brown from when you were a kid.
Yeah, he scarred me long before Daniel Jones ever scarred me in terms of Duke quarterbacks on the Giants.
Don't forget there was Kent Graham in there, not a Duke quarterback, but right around that Dave Brown era. It was those two guys battling for the starting position. Let's see here. He did not.
Maybe one of the saddest quarterback competitions of our lifetime.
Yeah, that was pretty bad. Let's see here. We go back to Boomer Esiason here with the Jets. Good for him.
Classic Jets look there, and I feel like we like Boomer.
We like Boomer. And it's always like for a second, when it's a lefty quarterback, it's always like, oh, it's backwards. Like, no, he's just a lefty. Let's see here. Speaking of strong quarterbacks, we've got another X's and O's here. Steve Young, 49ers. By the way, San Francisco doing a great job hosting the Super Bowl this year. No issues, nothing to report. Everything went well. Even have people like Pat McAfee going like, we've been lied to. San Francisco's beautiful. San Francisco's great. It's not the shithole everybody makes it out to be. It's like, you could any city in America can be great or terrible depending upon what part of it I take you. San Francisco is no different.
The weirdest thing about that whole story, and like I don't want to dive too deep into it because it gets into politics, and that's not generally what we do here. Is he acted like that was the first time he's ever been to San Francisco? It's like, buddy, you've called games at like Cal Berkeley. You're telling me that you haven't like been to downtown San Francisco, which is a nice area, around like the Moscone Center and like where all the hotels and nice restaurants and all that stuff are. Like, come on, man, give me a break.
Yeah. Well, San Francisco does a good job, and it'll be in LA next year. We already got 49er fans saying we're going to win it on Levi South next year. So we'll see how that goes for them. If you didn't get enough Dave Brown earlier, here's another Dave Brown card. Yeah.
I've seen way too much Dave Brown in this pack already. At least it's a classic Giants look. I like that.
It's a classic Giants look. Now, I forgot that this guy had played for the Eagles. One of the better QB names of all time, Bubby Brister.
That is a good quarterback name, though. I kind of like the fact that these cards are just doing the last name on the front of it, like Brister.
Since it's a quarterback collection, they're probably like, you already know this guy's first name. Why waste space on it? We'll stay with the Eagles here. We got a rookie replay of Randall Cunningham. I don't know why they're calling this a rookie replay because his rookie season was, they're going through his stats from 85. So this is 10 years later. Still a cool card if you're an Eagles fan or a Randall Cunningham fan. One of my first favorite quarterbacks was Randall Cunningham.
Yeah. Obviously a legend, and good to see his card.
He's a good listen. He made the game exciting. In an era of pure drop pack passers, he was the outside the box guy, and he was fun to watch. Going back to pure passers here. All right, let's first start off with former Congressman Heath Schuler. Looking in the classic Washington outfit there. Good shot.
Look. Yeah,
now I like this one. It's a Dan Marino card, but it's got one of my favorite players of all time sacking him there, Derek Thomas. But Dan Marino looking a little uncomfortable there. Understandable.
Understandably, yes. I would also be uncomfortable if Derek Thomas was about to ruin my life.
Yeah, wrestle me to the ground like a sack of potatoes. But yeah, rest in peace, Derek Thomas, one of the better linebackers and sack artists of all time. Let's see here. We do have a Patriots card. Defining moments, Drew Bledsoe. No, it was not when Mo Lewis knocked him out and started the Brady era. That was too soon for this card. That happened after this card. Nonetheless, there's a kind of basic ass Patriots jerseys there. Those 11s have no color border on the shoulder or anything like that. That's got kind of a Patriot.
Speaking of basic, will this Patriots team be back next year? Put this one. All right. Let me give you
yes. I don't know if they'll be back in the Super Bowl.
All right. Let me give you two options. The Patriots go 8-9, or the Patriots are back in the playoffs. Which one are you taking?
Playoffs. Without it. Yeah, playoffs. Here's the thing, Mike Vrabel. I don't see them taking a step back next year. I just don't see that happening. Now, maybe the Bills bounce back with a new coaching. I don't know. But going into the season now, and it's always silly to really talk football futures until free agency and the draft has happened. But as it stands right now, the day after the Super Bowl, I would take the Patriots to get back to the playoffs for sure. What about you?
You got to see how the rest of everything plays out. I mean, the way the NFL is, like, who would have said the year before the Patriots would be in the Super Bowl when they went 4-13 or whatever they went? So obviously, you guys see how everything plays out. I feel like the Patriots were very fortunate this year to win as many games as they did, in part because of the easy schedule and just all the breaks they caught along the way. So I feel like there's due for some sort of regression in that sense. So I think it's more likely they go like 8-9, 9-8 than they make the playoffs.
The thing they have going for them is they got 4 games against the Dolphins and the Jets. So that's 4 wins right there. So now you just have to go. You take you got 13 games left. You go 7-6. You're in the playoffs. You just really have to go 500 outside of those 4 games. So that's why I would take them. But again, we'll see how the Bills what they do in the offseason. I'd like to see them go and get AJ Brown. Yeah, I mean and that's one thing. People talk about the easy schedule, blah blah blah. They have to play the games in front of them. They have no control of that. That's all fair and good, but you see what happens when they have to play a NFC West team that was battling with the Rams and the Niners up until the last couple of weeks. Division, like you saw a different. They were punching up a class in that.
Yep, they were not ready for prime time last night.
And one thing we're going to have to deal with for a while was a lot of Broncos fans saying, if Bo Nix's ankle was healthy, it would be us there and it would have been different, blah, blah, blah. And that's true. It probably would. I don't know.
I'm glad you brought this up. Is there, because the Broncos fans have a legitimate gripe there, who's the one fan base that's probably like, man, that should have been us last night, like more than anyone? Because I would argue this was the team that fumbled the bag the worst out of any of these playoff teams was probably the Bills and Josh Allen. Like the Bills should have been in the Super Bowl.
I agree with that partially because if, these storylines have been talked about already. No Chiefs in their way, no Mahomes, no Arrowhead Stadium, no Lamar Jackson in your like the path was there for it. But again, what help does Josh Allen have? What cost them is the fact that they never went out and got him a true number 1 receiver. I'm not saying you got to go out and make a trade for Justin Jefferson, but can you have a receiver that's without a doubt, that is your top guy, and when push comes to shove, he knows you're going to go to him. They don't have that. And until you give that to Josh Allen, he can only do so much by himself. So I would think more than the Bills, I would say it's the Broncos because if we wanted to pick somebody else, I don't know if there's anybody else in the AFC that you can make an argument that it should have been them there instead. Like Jacksonville, maybe next year. Houston, maybe next year. Like these are teams that got to the playoffs, but they're on their way. Denver was ready with that defense. I think Buffalo, Seattle would have been at least a closer game. I'm not saying the Bills would have beaten the Seahawks, but it would have been a game that we weren't questioning in the second half. Like it would have been a tight one.
That Seahawks defense would have given anyone fits, but I don't know. I feel like Josh Allen would have at least been able to. The other underrated thing with Drake May last night is he really didn't run around a whole lot. And that's obviously a big part of his game. And they sort of took that away from him. Like he got to it a little bit in the second half, but by then it was a little, too little, too late. I feel like Josh Allen would have just started running from the get-go.
And that's the other thing too. Like if you were at that point, you got to make if May's shoulder is bothering him that much, maybe it hurts him to throw on the run, but get him mobile. He's good at that. Give the Seahawks something else to think about. Another wrinkle, something they have to respect. But here we go. Trying to see who the broadcast network is for next year because we have Troy.
I think it's ABC and ESPN.
So there we go. So that man right there will be on the call from SoFi Stadium next year.
I'll hold me to that, but I think it's ABC, ESPN next year.
So we got ABC this year, and then let's see here. Well, Elec. It doesn't sound. A simple Google search should give me a list of them. It doesn't. Oh well. And then if you
just ask AI, there was 80 million AI commercials during the Super Bowl last night.
Yeah, I know. Let's see here. So now we have another Troy Aikman. This one, a Pro Bowl card. Back when the Pro Bowl actually meant something. Now it's a flag football game.
What's funny is I didn't even give the Pro Bowl games like a second of thought last week. Like, um, it was on during in the middle of the week. I'm not barely paying attention because I've everything else going on that we had going on last week work wise. So, whatever. It's the Pro Bowl. It's gonna die a slow death, and rightfully so.
The only All-Star game that actually has any relevance at this point is the baseball All-Star game. It's the truest one to, like, they're still trying. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
one of representing the actual sport.
Like, nobody in an NHL All-Star game's trying to get hurt. Nobody in an NBA All-Star game's playing any sort of defense. But baseball, right. Like, you can't just, to quote Major League, you can't just olay a ground ball out there. Like, you're still going to make an effort to get it and throw it to first base. Like, yeah.
But I get there's these big TV deals and these networks want the rights for the All-Star games and whatnot, but they need to figure something out with this. And I don't know what the answer is other than just just cancel and do like a Q&A. Like, honestly, that'd be more entertaining than the actual game. Like, get somebody that the athletes trust that'll ask them a tough question here and there and go from there.
What they really should do, and I've said this before, go back to the old quarterback club competitions and make it so that just make it throwing if it's quarterbacks. Like, you don't want them to run. You don't want somebody to have some ACL injury in some random field in Hawaii or wherever you're going to have the game. That's fine. But, like, they're throwing footballs. They have to go out and throw. So, like, I may as well just have a competition because that stuff was fun when you had like Elway and Marino and Asias and an Aikman, just to name some guys that came out of this pack, like accuracy competition or who throws it for, like, that stuff. That would get people to tune in. You mic them up. They talk crap to each other. Everybody's having a good time. But we won't do that. No, of course, flag football where they do BS tush pushes. Like, come on now.
Now, get ready for flag football in the Summer Olympics. We saw that ad last night too.
There we go. We'll see how that goes. Now, I don't think I'll be able to. I did get a redemption card for a QB Club pin, Pinnacle Club collection pin, but something tells me 31 years later they're not going to honor that.
You know what? Try to send it anyway. See what happens.
Yeah, maybe I'll send. Yeah, maybe I will email.
They might have a warehouse full of them.
Yeah, maybe they do. Maybe they do. Like, I tell my season ticket rep for the Sharks or my flex plan rep when they're offering some sort of like, hey, if you buy X amount of games, you get this cool thing mid-season. It's like, oh, buddy, I bought X amount of games plus that. Maybe you put one off to the side for me. You both know that they're just sitting in a box in a storage room. Like, come on. Give me my Sharky snow globe. Like, I got already. There we go.
Like, oh, that rocks. Yeah, I like that.
So I figured out, so those of you who are in the Bay Area, I figured out the trick to maximizing your San Jose Sharks flex plan. First batch of games, you buy 6, you get the discounted rate, you get whatever you get for that. But in the middle of the season, they'll always offer buy 3 games and you get something cool. That was one of them before Christmas. Another one they have now is a Celebrini Will Smith, like, little figurine thing. Like, be smart about it. That's all.
I like that.
Now, I had to buy 2 extra games to qualify for playoff tickets because I had 9, and they're like, well, the number's 11, so it's going to be 2 random Mondays coming up when I'm driving down to the Shark Tank.
2 random Mondays, and hopefully the Sharks actually get there in the West. Hopefully they can make a move or two once the Olympic break ends to sort of push themselves over the finish line there.
Now, we're talking plenty of hockey. Now, we're talking hockey, so before we transition to that, any final thoughts on the season here? Giants, NFL, whatever you got. Anything.
No, not really. I mean, I feel like frauds get exposed in the end, and I feel like we kind of got that last night with the Patriots. So there you go.
I'll say this, and I say this every year. I just want to watch Jets football past September and not feel like I'm wasting
and the game actually means something, yeah.
And not feel like I should be playing with my daughter instead right now, instead of losing 30-0 to Cleveland Browns or something. Like, yeah, just give me something that's all I want this year. Again, too crazy to really look ahead until you start seeing the dominoes from free agency and the draft and all that. But I think overall it was a good season. There wasn't as many, and I know it's tough to look back now, but like, I don't feel like the regular season had a ton of like, oh my God moments. I feel like it was a slightly above pedestrian season.
I would have liked to have seen more big time quarterbacks in the playoffs. Like it was a bit of a bummer that like we didn't get Mahomes and
Jackson.
right. Yeah, we didn't get Lamar Jackson, and it's just between injuries and just how the teams did this season. We were I don't want to say robbed of that because like ultimately their teams just weren't good enough to get in, and you shouldn't just get in automatically because of who you are. But um, I don't know. That's basically all I got in terms of the football.
I do think that maybe we're starting to see a changing of the guard in the AFC. You know, Jaguars took a big jump. Texans have a stifling defense. Broncos won top seed in the conference this year. So I think we're starting to transition away from the Bills, Chiefs, Ravens being staples, and then we're going to start seeing some of these other teams. We'll see if the Patriots next year how they do a tougher schedule than what they had this year. But yeah, NFC is still wide open, and we'll see. NFC North, Bears.
I mean, yeah. I'll just add, I was even though I had no idea what was going on, I was entertained by the halftime show.
I thought the halftime show was fine. Now, this is coming from somebody that I understand the halftime show is not for me.
It's not for me, and I certainly don't understand Bad Bunny's music.
It's just to some of the people out there that were getting pissed. They're like, oh, the NFL doesn't know their fans, blah, blah, blah. The halftime show is not for the football fan that's going to tune into the game regardless of whether it's a sexy matchup or if it's Cardinals-Texans. NFL fan, if you're trying to maximize your ratings, you put things in that maybe a football fan to attract people that wouldn't tune in. Somebody that's going to be in the Puppy Bowl, watching the Puppy Bowl instead. Taking one of the most popular music artists on the planet, making them the halftime show, that's the way you accomplish that.
That very much is, and there was just enough little like cameos and Easter eggs in there. Like I didn't know that I needed Jessica Alba on my TV in 2026, but I'm glad the NFL gave it to me. So there you go.
The fact that was a real wedding and that he's the officiant, like he's the you got married, and Bad Bunny is the guy that's saying I was the witness to that. That's pretty cool.
That's that rocks. That what, Bad Bunny's pretty cool. I like him.
Yeah, I got no problems with it. Like, I can't understand what he's saying. Freaking bad. The meme's been going around online. Like, you can't understand half of what Eddie Vedder says if you're not listening deeply to Pearl Jam. So, like, come
That's
on.
a fair point. Yes. Maybe they should get Pearl Jam next year.
All right. I'm going to put a wrap on the football season right now. To everybody that's saying, "Oh, we could have had Metallica." No, we couldn't have, you freaking moron. Metallica had a chance to play the Super Bowl 10 years ago. And you know why they didn't do it? Because James Hetfield and Metallica don't want to deal with all the extra nonsense and stuff that comes with playing an event like a halftime show. And they don't need it. They're one of the most popular bands on the planet. You know what they did when the Super Bowl was in San Francisco 10 years ago? They booked the Giant Stadium the night before, did a Super Bowl night gig beforehand, where they were in complete control and doing what they want and not having to, again, all the hamstrings.
That's right. I remember being mad because I had to fly back the day before and I couldn't have gone to that.
So they did the Super Bowl night before, and then about 2003 when the Raiders were a good football team, that did happen. The Raiders were a good football. James Hetfield's a big Raiders fan. They wheeled up a big old flatbed truck. They did like a 20-minute gig in the parking lot at the Oakland Coliseum before the Titans-Oakland Raiders game. Metallica doesn't want to play the halftime show. They don't need to play the halftime show. And by the time the Super Bowl comes back, they're going to be too old to really want. So stop with this. We never could have had Metallica because they don't want to be bothered. Like, stop.
Imagine being that big where you could just be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not going to do the halftime show. Metallica can get away with doing that. And I think that's pretty cool.
And that's the thing. Like, you don't think the NFL went and asked Q Prime management, like, hey, would they be interested? And they're probably like, we'd rather not. Because and again, so you get Metallica to play. What are they going to play? Master of Puppets and Enter Sandman for the 8,000th time each? That's all you're getting.
No, I mean, well, they don't play full songs during these sets anyways. You'd get like a minute each of like their greatest hits. So like you get like those songs, you get like The Unforgiven and Nothing Else Matters. You'd probably get like a little snippet of each song.
And maybe that'll be cool. They've done medleys in the past. I know on the Justice Tour, they did a medley from the first 2 albums to try and get other songs. All I'm saying is, like, can we just stop with this? We could have had Metallica. No, we couldn't have. Absolutely go out and see them, but they don't want to be bothered. And as Jared said, they've gotten to a point in their careers where they could be like, you don't need that. Like,
right.
They sell out stadiums all over the world. They don't need that. But
give us the Foo Fighters one of these years. They showed a shot of Dave Grohl sitting in one of the suites last night drinking a beer. It's like, give us that.
And I think
Well,
enough time
do it.
by the time the next maybe they'll do LA next year, because I think by then enough time will pass from his love child saga thing that people won't care anymore. People are already not caring. But there we go. So we got about 25 minutes ago. Let's do a little hockey here. We see we're doing some 25, 26 O-Pee-Chee. We want that Matthew Schaefer rookie there. Let's see if we get it. First pack. Now, with the Olympics being a slightly more time zone friendly to the East Coast this year, are you going to be tuning into like all the games when you're home, like for hockey and stuff? Or
I'm not going to go out of my way to watch the hockey, but if it happens to be on and I happen to be home and there's nothing else going on, I will probably tune in.
I will be.
I'm just not a big like Olympic hockey person, and you know, it's just how I've always felt. So. It is what it is.
Now, Total Hockey Now, we're going to be doing Olympic preview later today, and then we're going to come at you on Thursday after one of the games, and then we'll have semifinals preview, and then we'll have a post game after the gold medal game. So if you want to hear Christopher Morez, pump up Canada and how they're going to beat everybody at Total Hockey Now. Let's get to some hockey cards now. We got Neil Pionk from Winnipeg Jets. It'll be interesting to see if they make a push or if their season's kind of over. It's a real tough division. The top 3 spots are kind of locked up there. Utah's playing well, so we'll see what Winnipeg does.
Oh, their season's over. They should be selling off any pending free agents and just chalk it up as not their year, and let's get ready for 26-27.
Go. We got Thomas Novak from the Pittsburgh Penguins. They're looking like
he's having a good year.
Having a good year, and they're looking like they don't look like a team that's in the playoffs now, but it'll fade as the months go on. I think they're safely going to be the second or third team in the Metro, but and especially with the way Skinner has been playing as of late, like that's actually worked out for them. We got Matthew Joseph from the St. Louis Blues, another team that's not going to the playoffs this year. Let's see here. We got former Shark and current Senator Fabian Zetterlund there. Let's see here. It's not Matthew Schaefer, but we got Adam Pelech, another Islanders defenseman. Another defenseman here, Eric Cernak. The Lightning, who quietly are just dominating the East. Like everybody was going crazy about Colorado and what they were doing the first 3+ months of the season. Tampa, after a little bit of a bumpy start, they really got their act together.
Yeah, Tampa's a wagon right now, and Tampa's at the point now they've almost retooled this on the fly. Around like all their star players are healthy and playing well for the most part. Like I know they've had Hedman out of the lineup and like Points banged up now, but like like Hagel's a mean son of a bitch to play against. Kucherov's been red hot. Obviously maybe the biggest difference with Tampa this year is Vasilevsky's back to being Vasilevsky. So you have all that, but they're getting contributions further down the lineup as well. Like where the hell does Darren Radish come from?
Yeah.
That he's like a point per game defenseman. Like it's ridiculous how good Tampa is at this.
Now, the other thing, too, that's helped is Andre Vasilevsky is obviously a workhorse goalie, but Jonas Johansson, the backup, is actually when he plays, he's given them decent outings. So they can actually play him. They don't have to play Vasilevsky 5 out of 6 games down the stretch. They could throw Johansson out there to give him a breather heading into the playoffs. So that's also helping him.
And by the way, I'll give you another example of just how smart Tampa is and how good they are at this. They are. That Sergachev for JJ Moser trade has turned out to be a home run for him. It's not that Sergachev is bad, but JJ Moser has just been like a perfect fit, and like he's 25, like he's not going anywhere. He's signed long term in Tampa. Like he's going to be part of like their next wave for the next half decade at least.
And when they made that trade, I remember like watching Moser even back in Arizona. It's like, is he ever going to be a bona fide top pairing? You got your guy defenseman. I don't know, but he's absolutely going to be a rock solid second pairing guy, second power play, second penalty kill. Like a really good depth defenseman. So see what Tampa does in the playoffs, because that Atlantic is going to be wide open. Speaking of the Atlantic, we got Nick Suzuki, one of Christopher Morez's favorites there. Mm-hmm. And he's going to be, handling things from Montreal down the stretch. We got Dominic Shine, marquee rookie from the Red Wings, staying in the Atlantic there. I think the Red Wings, do you think the Red Wings and Sabres are legitimate playoff teams? Because I think they are at this point.
I think that they probably are at this point. There's just too much of the season has gone by, and like I don't think Toronto's making it. I don't think Florida's making it. I think it's just the way the season has gone. They've just dug themselves too deep a hole. You're going to get 5 teams out of the Atlantic. I think Detroit and Buffalo will probably be 2 of them. That doesn't necessarily mean I believe in Buffalo long term or Detroit long term, but I feel like they've done enough now where their spot is probably safe.
I think that would be a great first round series, Detroit Buffalo. I'm not going to say that definitely 5 teams are coming out of the Atlantic. I think you get 4. I think you get 4. You look at the Metro, it's Carolina, it's Pittsburgh, it's the Islanders. Capitals are still lurking. Columbus, ever since Rick Bowness has taken over, they are playing their asses off right now and winning.
Oh, that's interesting. You can fire your head coach and you can actually turn the season. Oh, that's interesting.
You learn something new every day, Jared. There you go.
Oh yeah. Oh, and Buffalo, by the way, they fired the GM and all of a sudden they go on one of the all-time heaters. Oh, interesting.
Funny how that works. You get a bad personality out of the building, suddenly everybody's happy to go to work. Speaking of being happy to go to work, it hasn't been that way in Madison Square Garden this season. Braden Schneider there, blue parallel.
Well, I mean, the good news for Braden Schneider is there's a decent chance he'll be traded in the next 3 weeks.
Yeah. Right-handed shot defenseman. There's definitely a market for those, so they'll probably get a somewhat decent return. We got Jacob Bryson here from the Sabres there. That's 1 pack in the talk plenty of Buffalo. Atlantic heavy pack there. Not a great pack. See if we can do better on this one. We got Pierre LeBrun tweeting. So anytime he tweets something or Elliot Friedman, I got to check what it is because you never know with hockey. It's gonna just break in.
Probably something about the Olympics and line combinations or practice or whatnot. Like the roster freeze is going on right now, so I don't know what the hell they'd be tweeting about.
I have it up now. It's Canada held a closed practice. U.S. leaves their practice open. So definitely.
Oh, thank goodness. Thanks for the update there.
It's very important. We know these things. Travis connecting with the Philadelphia Flyers there. They're having a bit of they're having the season I expected, but they're a team that I think next year can, with the right moves, can take that next step. Let's see here. Next up on the list is Austin Watson. Then we have David Perron from the Ottawa Senators. Not a team going to the playoffs. Another marquee rookie here, Ville Koivunen. Got another Sabres here, Matthias Samuelsson, who's had a nice year for them. Looking at Chicago, Colton Dock, marquee rookie. And this pack is not looking great here. Definitely not. These are, these impulse buys at the register. I wish I had my $10 back. We got Keegan Colasar, Vegas Golden Knights, who I assume are going to win the Pacific Division at this point. Maybe Edmonton makes a run at it, but I think those are your top 2 in the Pacific. And then you'll see the Kings, who got a Panarin, and the Ducks probably battling out that 3rd spot, and the leftover of that team with the Sharks competing for some wild cards out there, along with Utah for that bottom 2 spot. We got Jonathan Lekkerimäki from the Vancouver Canucks. Did see a funny joke with the whole Gavin McKenna thing, like, hey, I know maybe you don't want to play for the Vancouver Canucks, but this isn't the way to do it, referring to him getting brought up on assault charges, which it turns out he was just defending his mother from somebody that wouldn't stop running their mouth about it. I'm never going to advocate for violence, but that being said, there's way too many people walking around the world today that have never gotten slapped or knocked in the mouth for saying the wrong thing too many times. And you know what? He raised his draft stock. As long as he doesn't go to jail, like, oh wait, this kid's willing to defend people too, on top of being a top-notch hockey player, sign me up.
There's a saying called FAFO, which you know what that stands for if you're familiar with it. And people FAFO, and they're gonna find out.
And I'm not saying like, oh, somebody says something, your immediate reaction to be to clock them in the jaw. What I'm saying is if you've made multiple attempts to diffuse the situation and somebody else is continuing to run their mouth, and it's like, hey, can we not do this? And you want to keep doing it, he's a hockey player. What else do you want from the guy? We got Bobby McMahon, speaking of Toronto. And then last but not least, just one of the Sharks' big acquisitions here for the trade deadline, or prior to the trade deadline. We will see if he pays any dividends. Kiefer Sherwood, after the Olympic break, he only really got in for 1 game, I think, maybe 2 for the Olympic break. We'll see where they put him in the lineup. I saw them tinkering with the idea of a Celebrini, Smith, Sherwood line, which I think would be very interesting. So we'll see how that goes. But 2 mediocre hockey packs there.
Yeah, it is what it is. Unfortunately, we're in the middle of the Olympic break, so we don't really have any real hockey to hold us over. So we kind of have to make do with what we got there.
There we go. All right, now we've got a few minutes left to go on this edition of Rip and Riff, and we haven't done an I Love Lucy in a while, so let's get cracking. All right, so
I love that we got the MCA for the other music, but not this.
yeah, like the Mod Squad, yes, but like maybe it's the I Love Lucy theme is so old, it's like past like that copyright window where it's free use. I don't know.
It's in the public domain.
But I will say it's one of the more underrated like intro themes of all time. Like it has a Ed Bunny should have covered that at his halftime show. Working a little I Love Lucy theme.
Okay, do you want to go first with here, or do you want me to go first?
You go first, because my I Love Lucy is not really a card today. It's gonna be a little something different. But you go first.
All right, I got 5 things to show off here. 5,
right.
a lot. So I don't know if I had shown this off a couple weeks ago, but I'm gonna do it again here. So if I did, bear with me. I did pick up a Dawson Mercer Premier Autograph rookie card that's graded. So so we got that right there.
Do we think he gets moved at the deadline?
Not the deadline. I think he gets moved in the offseason. I think he's very much just a guy. You can kind of see my face like through the card there, which is pretty cool. So that's why I keep holding it here. But I feel like he's a guy. He's just his development's just kind of plateaued, and he kind of is what he is at this point. Like he'll get like his 20 goals and maybe his 40 points, but he's not really gonna have a significant impact. And he's just one of these guys where when you're invisible for 10, 15 game stretches, you just can't have that in the middle of the season. And I feel like as he's getting more expensive, it's not really what you're looking for.
No, I don't. But for real life or fantasy perspective, like, yeah, like he for sure would just the card we pulled. Like, if you look at his Vancouver Canucks game log, like, yeah, he's got a lot of goals, but like he gets a hat trick and then he does nothing for like a month. Like, I don't want that either. So,
right.
So
it is what it is. I got one other graded rookie card here. This time we go to baseball. Want to get a little Yankee stock here. So I picked up a Bowman Ben Rice rookie card here, PSA 10.
There we go.
Yeah, so
slabs. I like that one.
Yeah, I figured if you're gonna get the rookie card, you may as well pay a little bit more and get it slabbed and get it while it's already graded. So I figure get him. The next guy I'm probably going to get is Cam Schlittler, which I'm going to have to look that one up. But we'll get that. We got a new addition to the Sal Fasano All-Stars. For those unfamiliar,
right.
these are Yankee players who were with the team for 1 year or less. So we picked up a John Birdie autographed card there.
All right, I like it.
Yeah, so he is the newest member of the Sal Fasano All-Star. So we are very pleased to add that to the collection.
What you should do is get like a fake baseball field like printout, and then like have like the Sal Fasano All-Stars like have like positions.
Oh, at each position? Yeah, we could definitely do that. I don't know if that I have enough cards yet of Sal Fasano All-Stars to fill out an entire lineup, but
kind of like when Mr. Burns was presenting the softball lineup, and he's got like Three Fingers Brown, other people lineup. Like
right. Well, the problem with that was the starting right fielder was dead for 150 years. So
that's a classic Simpsons episode right there.
Yep. Not often we do poker cards on this. However, I did pick up one just because my buddy happened to be on this one. So we go to the Leaf Metal autographed poker cards here. We got a twofer with this one of Nick Wright and Jeremy Becker autograph card. So obviously, you know Nick Wright from FS1 and all that. I actually texted him a picture of this card last night. He hadn't responded to me yet, though. And Jeremy Becker is, I would say, well-known play. If you follow poker and like you watch like a lot of like the Poker Go streams, like Jeremy Becker's a guy like you'll see regularly on those. He's one of those Vegas grinders who's always grinding like those nightly $200 tournaments, but he's had a lot of success doing it.
Hey, however you pay the bills, whatever makes you happy paying the bills, good for you. And Nick Wright, one of the better guys in me.
One of the better guys in the industry. All right, I got one more. I have a surprise. And
this is the surprise.
Right. And I preface this by saying I am very guilty of impulse buying stuff on pre-order and then forgetting about it. So this isn't a card; it's a figure. But I figure I have to show it off just because it's such a beautiful figure. So I picked up a big rubber guys Macho Man Randy Savage figure.
Now there you go. And I
Look
mean,
at look at that.
that's a pretty accurate. Sometimes you get these figures and it's like that guy looks nothing like the real person. No, that's pretty close right there.
Oh, that very much looks like him. It's officially licensed. He's got like the whole macho USA gear get up there, nice stars and stripes theme. So that's pretty cool.
Big
I
Rubber
don't know what
Guys
I'm
is
going to
also
do
the
with
name
this
of
other
your
than put it in
local
the
sex toy
background.
shop.
I'm sorry.
Big Rubber Guy is also the name of your local sex toy shop.
Yes, it very much is. Yes. So I don't know what I'm going to do with this other than just put it in the background. But this one of those things. I bought it, I forgot about it, and then it just showed up in the mail last week.
That's nice when it's like you get a package on the doorstep, you don't quite recognize the shape of the box. You're like, that's not Amazon. I don't know what this is, but got my name on it. But I don't remember. Those are always great when you get a package in the mail. Like, I forgot I ordered this. It's awesome. Now I have one Lucy I'd like to show off. It's not. We're not doing an official starting lineup figure 5 today, but if you're going to show a figure, I'm going to show a figure. Now, in the late 20 teens, there was a few teams that decided to do the nostalgia thing, like a single game giveaway for random starting lineup figures. I have a Dave Stewart one from an Oakland A's game I went to. Which, if I recall, that was one of the hottest days of my life. Like, it was so hot at the Oakland Coliseum that you couldn't sit on the seat right away. Like, you had to like sit for a second, get up, sit for a second to cool the seat down. It was that hot out.
I know what you're talking about. I went to a Yankee Met game once it was in the old stadium. That was very similar to that, where it must have been like 100 degrees outside.
And we had like really good seats. I remember my uncle, well, I guess that's what we call him. He got us seats maybe like 12 rows behind home plate for a Yankees A's game. It was like, I think it was either Father's Day or somewhere around there. Oh, like, and as great as those seats were, and it was a good game, by like halfway through the 6th inning, me and Tammy were like, we can't sit in the sun anymore. Like, it's just,
Yeah, you're doing the best you can. You're trying to drink as much water as you can, but
so
you don't want to fry out there. So I totally get it.
now I didn't realize the Nets had done one of these a few years ago for the legend Drazen Petrovic. There, you can see the card loose in the background. There we go. Drazen, starting lineup figure that'll go on the display over here. But that was one where I was in the Facebook group, the starting lineup Facebook group, that popped up, and I'm like, never seen that one before. I like my Nets. Let me jump on it.
Yeah, I like that. In the classic Nets look there back when they played in the great state of New Jersey. And it actually says on the back there, New Jersey Nets shooting guard. So there you go.
I'll say this, Continental Airlines, Izod Center, whatever era you want to call the arena, it was an old barn and kind of a dump, but the sightlines for hockey were fantastic. Basketball games there were good. I've been to college and Nets games there, and it was a great venue for concerts too. So,
great venue for concerts. Yeah.
So go. So a little I Love Lucy there on both sides for us, and that's going to do it for this episode of Rip N Riff. But of course, you can reach out to the show at ripnriff@gmail.com. And don't forget, you got Total Hockey now for myself with at Christopher Murray, at Fuzzy Chris 91, at Ant Rivera 86. We'll be talking Olympic hockey here over the next few weeks. What do we got coming up on Jared Moore Poker?
Some shorts when I get around to posting them. I have like 4 more in the can that I have to. They're done. I just have to schedule them.
And then allaboutthejersey.com. What's the plan for the next few weeks over the Olympics?
My article this week, I feel like there's a lot of anti Jack Hughes, anti Devil's Core talk in general with how the team is underachieved. So my article this week is going to be talking about a brief history of trading star players in the Stanley Cup in the salary cap era, and basically why trading Jack Hughes is a stupid idea.
Yeah, listen, I understand it's been, it went from being we're probably going to be number 2, we're likely number 2 person team in the Metro to probably not going to the playoffs at this point. Don't blow the whole thing up over that. Just, right. You got Jack Hughes. He's a bona fide talent. Yes, he gets hurt, but it's not time for that yet. Maybe in a year or 2, but not right now. Get your coverage for allaboutthejersey.com with the Devils there. Jared doing great work over there. But that does it for this edition. Rip and Riff here on the Rip and Riff YouTube channel. We're at Mr. Jared Moore. I am at Puck and Thoughts. Adam Bernard. We're going to be off next week. We'll be back with you on February 23rd. Do plenty of packs then. We'll have some new stuff, some new ideas to come out and help you get through the offseason of the NFL while hockey's still kicking ass. Jared, I'm Adam. Talk to you in 2 weeks.